Hello everyone, welcome back to some more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time, what did we do last time? I believe... right. Sorry, it took me a little to remember. We got Giselle Brett on the stand, and we got her to testify basically saying that she didn't kill the guy because she didn't take out the gun or shoot him or anything like that. And there's basically no other way of and basically there's no other way of killing him that would lead to, where's the photo, his hand being imprinted by the thing, unless of course she poisoned him. But the issue with that is, unfortunately, we don't have any proof. The drink that she ordered, the carbonated water bottle, isn't poisoned. So yeah, fortunately for us, can I go back? There we go. Fortunately for us, what's it called? What's her face? Yeah, here it is. Susatsumiko Toba, the judicial assistant, came in with a small package for us. And we're about to see what that is. Yes, I also want to preface this by saying I don't think there's too much in the trial left, so we might go on a little longer than normal just to finish off the case. But yeah, so we might just do that. Or we might end it off. I don't know. I kind of want to finish the case off and have the next case be its own kind of video, but well, we'll see what happens, right? Let's continue on. Oh, and yes, I know all my voices sound the same. I thought I was good at voice acting, but apparently that is a lie. I was like dead wrong. Whatever. Well, I understand you are the judicial assistant. Was something behind me? Whatever. To the defense? But why the sudden ingress into my courtroom?
Ha! A judicial assistant, and a woman no less. The rules state that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify.
Yes, I fully understand. I asked for only 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense.
Ha! You're too late, little girl. This trial has already been concluded.
5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
But, Your Excellency!
I am most grateful. I hope that sounds better than last time. Hey, we got 3 people on the stand for the first time. Who exactly are you? I'm sorry, there's no time. Please, simply accept this for now. What is it? A report about something written in English? It's Giselle Brett's research. The Englishwoman's? We're gonna take her down with her own research? Yeah? How sardonic. After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical factory and borrowed this paper. Oh, yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she? So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case? I'm afraid I don't know. Yeah? I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself. Oh, no, of course not. Special characteristics of curare and its effects on human subjects. Interesting. Can we read that? No, we cannot. Curare? What's that? I've never heard that word before.
Time's up! The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom.
There was too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it. This is wonderful. Thank you. Alright, we have her report. Oh, and I apologize if this sounds or looks a bit different. Apparently OBS updated to like 28.0 version. I haven't been able to see what exactly was added or anything, but the UI looks different. So like everything's slightly bigger. Whatever though. Goodbye then, and good luck.
You have had long enough, Counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer. I ask the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Ryunosuke, we're out of options here.
This really is our very last chance, which is why I'm going to read that note. What is this now? An unknown poison. She's been researching the poison, which proves she would have had access to one. Made from bark of certain trees from the jungles of South America. Hunters of that region used it to incapacitate their prey. Really? Instant paralysis, subsequent death. Because the muscle can't move, so you literally can't breathe. Instant paralysis. Even in minute doses. Would come through a wound, such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Well, does that mean ingested? I mean, you can easily just gulp it down, and then... Yeah, well... Actually, yeah, when he was distracted, she could have sprinkled some of that stuff into his glass or whatever. And, what's it called? She could have taken the poison glass with her, maybe, or something. Even in minute doses, meaning if she could have just sprinkled it into his carbonated water, he drinks it, dies, or no, rather, wait, what is this? Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it could have application as an anesthetic, but there's no solution to full respiratory arrest. Oh, so so is she gonna try and use it as a medical purpose for medical purposes? Huh. Okay then. Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence.
That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett.
Yes, Your Excellency?
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer.
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. I'll have to politely decline.
Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question, however. I must ask you to treat that as an order.
I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. So, Counsel, what is this new evidence that demands the court's attention?
Well, obviously Giselle's report, namely... wait, is he getting... I remember him asking us, like, which specific page? Synopsis, characteristics, practical applications, okay. So either 1, 2, or 3. Let's see.
Yes!
Miss Giselle Brett, we understand you are studying under Dr. Wilson at Yume University, doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence perhaps, into a deadly poison.
What?
Poison? Where are you going with this, Counsel?
A toxin known as curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection!
What? What complete and utter nonsense! Curare, you say? I've never even heard of it.
You wouldn't have done.
What do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country.
It doesn't exist?
Correct. Which means, no matter what test the police can do for toxins, they never identify curare. Oh, that's why. Because one, their test is not when they don't do autopsies, so their stuff isn't good enough. And two, more importantly, even if they could, the poison isn't even like local in their country, so of course they wouldn't know it. Wow, she was really covering all the bases, wasn't she? Why? Because there is no test available that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison.
What?
Wow, my ouchie voice is literally getting worse and worse as time goes on. I am like not even kidding.
Order, order, order. Council, does this deadly poison truly exist?
According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle, and was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Well, no. No, Kazuma, that is wrong. That is dead wrong. They don't instantly die. They instantly get paralyzed and suffocate because their body, including their lungs and the muscles around their lungs, don't move. So they don't instantly die. They instantly get paralyzed and die soon afterward. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Objection!
Trumpery! These aspersions are utter trumpery! To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners surely would have noticed.
That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector? Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that.
I don't remember anything like that either. Well, yeah, because literally it says it right here, doesn't it? Yeah, paralysis. It stops the body from moving. According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean, the other way around?
The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used.
Explain yourself, Counsel.
The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all.
How terrible.
Obviously, if a man lost all his strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed. But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail. Okay, yeah, so basically, yeah, it stops your lungs from moving. Basically making you suffocate. Oh god, actually, I wonder how that would feel. Literally, like you try to breathe, but you literally can't. And then all that's going on, the man was burning his hand on a 200-degree pan. Oh my god, wow, that must have been awful for him. Oh my god. In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. And all the while the victim was conscious and aware, just unable to move.
That's hideous.
To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be in a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison.
Wow. And all that's just from a minute dose.
And you're suggesting that this bottle, Counsel, it actually contains the terrifying poison?
No, because it was... Oh, right, it was tested earlier, but even though it was tested, because it's not in Japan yet, then it wouldn't be identified. Oh, okay.
Objection!
I was thinking it might be in the cup, but...
This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing? What a happy tale for the defense.
Ahem, if I may...
All these facts. You think you're so clever, but you must be taught some manners.
It is you who must be taught.
Of course.
Oh, sorry, what is she saying now? I want to give her more of a regal tone of voice, you know? Okay, that sounds, but I think that sounds a lot better. I'll just use that. Sorry, I'm like still kind of getting new to this. It's been a while. The last time I did something like this was 999, so yeah, it's been a long while for me. So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal another's honest hard work and then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act.
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual.
Whatever do you mean?
Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a hideous crime? That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Objection!
Enough of this. I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules.
What's so funny? Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett?
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, I don't see, why not?
No. Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys.
Sorry?
To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police schemes, and these foolish court romantics. It's laughable, really. No, but I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers.
Wait, what are you doing?
No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. Yeah? So it would have been in the glass. She must have sprinkled some in while he was distracted by Ryunosuke. And then after he fell over or something, she shot him for good measure. Or to make it look like the thing, probably. That has to be it. Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned.
So, no curare.
Oh, wait a second. Hold up. Hold, I just remembered. Where is it? Here it is, route of entry. It only comes in through a wound. In other words, it only takes effect once it goes into your bloodstream, not when it's ingested. And he would have had a wound because he got his tooth taken out. Oh. That's how things went. Sorry, that was a literal eureka moment right there, because, like, literally, I remember playing through this, but it's been, like, a while since I played this, so, like, but yeah, that's how it must have happened. It takes effect once it goes into your bloodstream, not once it goes into your like, body or whatever. Oh, that's clever. That is cleverer than clever. That is more clever than something, I don't know.
The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying? You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, your excellency. Yes, Miss Brett. I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendships between our countries. Yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you've given. This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. So how? How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it. Well, I suppose if nothing else, this Far Eastern charade will make for interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London. There has to have been poison in that bottle, doesn't there? But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over dead. Come on, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now. That bottle of water. Shoot. Well, as to whether or not it contains poison, I mean, she just drunk it, right? Well, no. I wonder if it's the glass that contains the poison? There is no poison in that bottle. She would have died. Astounds me. So there was poison in that bottle. Okay. Now that we know that, what exactly can we say? Well, it obviously contains poison. But one, how could she have poisoned it? I mean, she would have had to, like, dip some into the bottle right after the waiter served it. She would have had to open, right after the waiter served it. She would have had to dip some into the bottle. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. The waiter could have just poured it. Then Ryunosuke came in. She took her chance. She saw her chance, took it, and then once Ryunosuke left, they toasted and events went from there. What is it said now? The culprit did put curare poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious?
Objection!
Fool, are you blind? There is no possible way that bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw
Miss Brett drinking the water from it? That's right, which rather complicates your argument, I think.
And I believe that complication can be explained.
How exactly?
I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer's in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be. Oh, yeah, it does. It's supposed to, duh. Is this where the access switch page on? Special characteristics, I'll guess.
Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume this supposedly poisoned water unscathed?
Yes.
the very same report. The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report.
Objection!
That's not a valid explanation.
No?
After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish.
Yeah, so if someone writes something in a different language, then it's gibberish? Really?
This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone. Honest. I'm just reading Susato-san's notes. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us, okay, yeah, here it is, to the pertinent section. Which section? Easy. Special characteristics. Specifically, route of entry. We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison, and it's left me curious about something. Oh, Counsel? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years, to lace the heads of the arrows they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes. And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat.
Get to the point, please.
But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Good gracious, Counsel! No, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says, the poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see. That makes sense. Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When curare enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever.
What?
Well, I mean, maybe not the mouth, like maybe when it's eaten is probably the better word. Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew curare's special characteristics. And you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself. You meddling little rapscallion! That's the best you got? Really? Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
Oh, this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure. But I fail to see how it possibly...
So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly. What are you trying to say? Your schoolboyish logic is a fatal flaw. Schoolboyish? Flaw? As even your brain has managed to deduce, curare is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus. Oh, yes. Well, of course. Gastric suckers? What are they? So, if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he?
Ah, that's right.
Good gracious! That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no? Order! Order in the court! Order! The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected the same way. Are you trying to suggest
Yes, this curare poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial.
That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that. Ooh, what's this? What is this welling up inside me? I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey.
Objection!
Oh, snap! I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett. How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well that there is no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you, but you must provide compelling evidence. As we now know that the poison was completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the curare? Well, obviously because he got dental work. He got a tooth taken out. Technically, that's a wound. As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. Also, this pursuit theme is amazing, seriously. A fatal difference. The toxic effects of curare are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water?
Inside?
Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Yeah, literally. Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are all so puerile. What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. Yeah, what? You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it.
But no!
I mean, you could just slip. Yeah? You wanna call... Hold up. How exactly can you call us schoolboys if you can call us childish, yet you go and do something like that? Come on now. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. Yeah? But the very fact that you destroyed it proves that it was true. Why else would you destroy it otherwise? Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of the water from the broken bottle as possible, at once. You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor presence of mind to recover it. Yeah? How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, won't we? If there really was poison in that bottle, or not.
You. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution?
Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady.
Oh, but we can just use the other print to prove that he was poisoned. Okay, the case holds.
That's right, and really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me.
So of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
Objection!
No, you killed the victim that day, using curare, and then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the prosecutor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn in the dead prosecutor and his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime.
What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence.
Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest, delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but now, is she really gonna get away with it? The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene and childish.
Ryunosuke, yes? We've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it.
Use it? What? What do you mean?
We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head.
In my head?
You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend on.
Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head.
So think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell.
What I saw, what I felt, every color. Yeah, there's blood on the thing. Actually, no, I was about to say, like, how can you miss that when, I mean, to be honest, in heat of the moment, I can understand you wouldn't notice it. Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of this same scene in my head, could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? There has to be. Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything, I think I might have uncovered another clue.
Haha, you always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe the smug smile off that English woman's face with some evidence.
Alright, I can't wait. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories for that day. Whatever it is, could be the key to arriving at the truth behind all of this.
It's here somewhere. The clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's killer must have been is...
What do you mean the real clue? It's literally right over there. Well, I say that as I'm saving. As I'm save scumming. Okay, it's literally...
Take that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes? What is it?
Ugh, he's still miles away.
Probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you've said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you?
Absolutely.
I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Objection!
Wait a minute. Where are you going with...
Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a spattering of blood.
What?
Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor.
No, that can't be the case.
Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there, and the meat itself. I mean, seriously, this thing's like what, 90%? About 80 to 90% full. This one, it's about half eaten. That's a solid 65. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way that blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him.
Yes.
For blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter, which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor, as you were. Giselle Brett.
I beg your pardon?
Objection!
This is beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense. Is the court seriously expected to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing?
Hold it!
Who said that?
Oh, that was Hosonaga? That was his voice?
This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean... Yes, I took the plate in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it.
You did what?
I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice.
Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now.
Yeah, did you just take the entire crime scene with you? Oh, like seriously? Like, I mean, good call, obviously, but did you really just snatch up the entire crime scene and... Whatever.
What does he say?
Inspector, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately.
Okay. Whatever. Here's the plate in question, eh?
Sorry for the delay. Here's what you ordered. The steak.
Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it?
Of course there isn't.
Quickly, Inspector. The blood, man. Show the court.
Of course.
Examine the plate at your leisure. No blood. Wait, he said he took the sergeant's plate. Is this the wrong one? But no. That's impossible. I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. It was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate. What's an unbecoming expression, little boy? You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you.
Tisk, I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire.
I believe we may finally have reached a conclusion in this trial. Let's hope so. Let's this pretend that at the courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over.
Ha! This sorry-looking stick reveals the facts all too clearly. If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, then be my guest.
The plate of steak has been entered into the court record. Oh, okay. May as well. May as well. Okay. Nothing here. Is there anything under the steak, maybe? Wait, no. Why would there be stuff under... What the heck is that? Huh? What in the world is this?
I think it's a Kaban coin, and the hallmark is from the Hoei era, I believe.
In other words, this... Oh, snap, this is... What's it called? The steak from the Korakuda-san that he lost. This was his or the sergeant's steak. This is the wrong thing. No, I don't mean what is it. I mean, what's it doing there? Wait, did you say it was a Hoei Koban?
Yes, and apparently from the meat juices it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very apart from the meat juices, it's in good condition. I imagine that it's very valuable.
This isn't the first time today that there's been talk of a Hoei Koban.
I've heard of pearls before swine, but I've never heard of bullion. Oh, what?
Wait, what? Of bullion and bullion, or bullion and bullion. Whatever. And I don't think you ever will again.
This is extraordinary, though.
This means... Yeah. One thing's for sure. I thought the meat appeared underneath for a prize. Yeah, Ryunosuke? Well, I mean, not really. There's such thing as money soak, right? This is it now. I've lost.
Ryunosuke, it's not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what.
He's right. Believe in myself. Really? Huh. Maybe I should at least examine the evidence. Okay, I did already.
As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of the evidence in this trial will be unnecessary.
Oh, presume, not preserve.
Does the defense have any objection?
That bloodstain was going to clinch this trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? You bet there is. Your Excellency, please, wait. This plate of beef is hiding yet another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth.
Objection!
The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak.
Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial. Nor any freaking stuttering, Jesus. Whatever, I'm getting better.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, isn't it?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court to what you are alluding.
Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is this new clue to be found? Under it, obviously. Da-da-da-da. I'm just going to show the dialogue just in case. Anyways, let's present it.
Got it!
Good gracious. That's...
Come on?
What on earth?
a Hoei one at that.
Miss Brett. This is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at this restaurant on the day in question. Is it? Or is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat? What a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what this is, but I want no part of it.
Objection!
I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat? That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef at a moment of distraction. Yeah, the chef randomly has coins in his pocket and puts it on a hot plate? Really?
Objection!
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare Hoei era kaban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak? If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency. Yes, Counsel. A rare Hoei kaban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak? If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now.
Objection!
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway.
Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant. Even though I'm the one on trial here? Huh. Actually, you know what? If I can't do voices well, I can at least try doing accents. That's better. The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under that steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it could belong to. The owner of that koban was found underneath the beef steak was Korakuta-san, obviously.
Take that!
How far are we? 52 minutes? You know what? I'll be nice. Let's go for an hour. Obviously, it can only be the antiques dealer and owner of Rasute, Kyoryu Korakuta-san. Kyori, as in Mr. Cucumber something? Honestly, this ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable. Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying that he was up to something with his Kaban coin when it happened. At exactly the moment the gun was fired.
The gunshot interested me not.
Oh God, that was... okay. Okay. Okay, that was actually... that sounded awful.
The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, but what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Hoei era Kaban, my prized coin.
Then this Hoei era Kaban, do you mean to tell me...
Objection!
No, please. Why would Korakuta-san's koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and the plate? It makes no sense.
Which is why I'm asking to bring Korakuta-san back to the witness stand, so we can ask him.
Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here, without a moment's delay.
Okay, actually, this seems like a good time to stop, because we got new witnesses and whatnot, so... yeah. I can't believe we've come around to that pair again. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Kaban, we'll find that it's a key element in the case. Alright. Is it... oh wow, a total of 4 witnesses on stand. That is interesting, to say the least. But we're going to stop things right here. Okay. Alright, there we go. So, next time, we are going to... Sorry, my brain is literally blanking out. Next time we are going to cross-examine. I was about to say interrogate, but yeah, cross-examine the witnesses again to see just why that Koban coin was underneath the thing in the first place. So, I will see you all then.